Hello everyone, my name is Shutanu Sadhukan. This video is prepared for my PMRF's first annual review. I was guided by Dr. Shobha Shukla and Dr. Joyesh Bellare of IIT Bombay. Here I work in Victory Lab. Victory means Water Innovation Center, Technology, Research and Education. I am an Indian chartered engineer from chemical engineering background. The topic of my research is polymer nanocomposite membrane for oil-water separation. The commercially available membrane trends consist of three stages or more than that. As we go from one stage to other, the quality of the permeate or quality of the concentrate, depending on our focus, gets increased, and each of these stages consists several modules. These type of setups are well established industrial setups for applications like desalination, fruit juice concentration in food industries, etc. But for oil water separation, membranes are still in the developmental phase. So that's why these type of large scale installations are not there or very rare. They are not commercially or industrially available in the market. So our end goal is ultimately to go in this position so that we can develop membrane in such a way that that can be applied in large scale industries for de-oiling. So why is it necessary? Because in offshore there are oil spills, and in onshore industrial effluent may contain oil. After that oil is discharged, the oily water is discharged on natural water bodies, then the oil gets sprayed on the surface. It prevents the mixing of oxygen from the air into the water, which endangers the aquatic life. There is one experiment called as the oil drop experiment. Based on this experiment, the diameter of an oil molecule is found out to be around the angstrom range, which was also confirmed by XRD studies by different for different oils. But the oil droplets are much more bigger than that, which are 0.5 to 200 micrometers in diameters. The conventional de-oiling devices or the oil skimmers are able to remove the oil from the surface, but the oils, those are fine size in nature, and as per Stokes law they cannot easily rise up to the surface, so they cannot easily be separated. So for them, actually those are called the dispersed oil. There are environmental rules and regulations. So as per the 1986 environmental protection rules, for offshore discharge the oil content must be less than 40 ppm in the water, and for onshore discharge, like the liquid effluent from industries, the oil and grease content must be less than 10 ppm without dilution. So we can see that the oil molecule is around angstrom range, and the oil droplet ranges between 1 to 100 micrometer, let's say, in diameter. So the conventional membrane modules which are available in the market, they are either MF modules, UF, NF or RO, which we all know basically. The minimum pore size that one membrane can have is the RO membrane, whose pore size varies from zero point 0.1 to 1 nanometer. But the oil molecule is in the angstrom range, so it is even smaller than that. An oil droplet consists of several oil molecules, and each of them can easily pass through even an RO membrane. But the interaction of oil molecules with the material of the membrane is important, because we generally use MF, not MF, we generally use membrane that ranges from UF to NF for oil water separation. So how does it separate oils? Actually, the membrane material is such that it repels the oil molecules and the oil droplet, and prevents it to break into further finer droplets. So that's why that's how it is able to separate the oil from the water. So that's why the choice of polymeric base material is very important. We have chosen three basic polymers for our study. One is polyamide, polyamide imide, and polyimide. Their trade names are given. There are many solvents which can dissolve these three polymers at room temperature, but if we see the common ones among the three, they are DMF or dimethyl formamide and NMP, N-methyl pyrrolidone. The PA and PAI are hydrophilic or oleophobic in nature, and the PI can be both hydrophobic or hydrophilic depending on the alkyl groups those are present in the PI. So what are the chemical structures of the chosen polymers? So they are basically PI, PAI, and PI. So mainly there are two groups. One is amide group and another one is imide group. So amide groups looks something like this. There is one C double bond O group, and the polymer that forms out of this. There are actually many polymers, but the most popular ones are PA66 and PA6, respectively called as nylon and parlon. Those are their trade names. And imide groups looks something like this. There are two C double bond O's, and there are many structures of polyimides be possible depending on the nature of the alkyl groups R prime and R double prime. Depending on the nature of them, many types of polyimides are possible. But in case of polyamide imide, both the polyimide group and the polyamide group must be present inside the chemical structure. Now comes the membrane fabrication section. So here we will discuss mainly three membrane fabrication techniques which are available in our lab. The first one is solution casted flat sheet membranes. The solution casting method consists of first mixing the polymer inside the solvent, then it is casted on a solid support. After that, either by evaporation or inside the water baths, the solvent is removed and pores are formed inside the polymer membrane matrix. So depending on varying concentration of the polymer inside the casting solution, the pore nature may vary. That means the number of pores, that is porosity, it will decrease as we increase the concentration of the polymer inside the solvent. The homogeneity will decrease. Like that way, the nature and number of the pores will vary depending on the concentration of the polymer inside the solvent. The another method that is present in our lab, it is electrospin fibers. So both vertical and horizontal electrospinning are available in our lab. So how it is done? So there are syringes of injections. So inside that the polymer is loaded. Those are called as syringe pumps. The polymers comes on the tip of the syringe, which is the droplet of the polymer, and then the voltage is applied, and the droplet takes a conical shape, which is called as the Taylor cone. As we increase the voltage, there comes at a certain point where the fibers starts emerging from the tip of the Taylor cone, and it gets deposited on a metal plate. The entire apparatus may be either in, as I told earlier, that it may be either in horizontal condition or in vertical conditions. In horizontal condition, the Taylor cones basically gets distorted with the help of the gravity, because the gravity acts in perpendicular direction with respect to either the aerodynamic drag or the electric force. But in case of vertical, the all the three forces acts parallel to each other. So the gravity force basically aids the electric force, which is responsible for the formation of the fiber. So that's why experiments from literature shows that uh, the vertical one, that is your B in the pictures B and D, forms more compact fibers than the horizontal electrospinning setups. So here you can see in the A image, you can see that the fibers are more that come out from the horizontal setup. Those are more there are more gaps. They are not compact. But yes, the gap is minor. More research is needed in this matter. Okay, and the third membrane fabrication setup is the deep coating method for producing hollow fiber membranes. So the hollow fibers inside the hollow fiber membranes, from the feed to the permeate side, the flow may either be inside out or it may be outside in. And after the stacking of the hollow fibers inside the setup, that is the module, then it looks like just like a sealant tube heat exchanger. So these are the three setups those are available, and we are planning to incorporate several nanomaterials in the polymers. So depending on the nature of the nanoparticles and based on the literature search, there are many types of nanoparticles are possible. One is nanochannel providers, for example, carbon nanotubes or graphene quantum dots. What they do, they basically increases the water permeability to the membranes because of their nanochannels. There are property modifiers, for example, organoclays or nanomaterials. They are layered minerals basically, and they can increase or decrease the hydrophilicities or oleophilicities of the membrane if dispersed in the polymer solution before casting. The third type is the surface modifiers, like silver phosphate or silver nanoparticles. They can modify the property of the membrane, the surface property of the membrane in such a way that they delay or prevent the colloidal particles or microbial attachments. That's why they can prevent the fouling of the membrane, or they can delay the fouling of the membrane. So this is a potential surface modifier, potential nanoparticles which can be used. And the fourth one is the hybrid one, which basically above the nano channel providers, property modifiers and surface modifiers, if more than one of them are used together, then it will call as the hybrid nanoparticles. So it will have the functionalities of both the type of nanoparticles that will be used in the hybrid one. Okay, so that's all. So there are some recent achievements from my side. I did India Connect research internship for 3 months this year at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. So where I worked on two projects. One is carbon dioxide compression thermodynamics, and another one is combustion of ammonia. Before and after that, I did two workshops. I attended two workshops, one in IIT Bombay and another one is in Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. Thank you for your attention.